So there was this girl, and everyone says that she was possessed. Now, this particular girl, she doesn't really remember being possessed, but everyone confirms it. It all started at a sleepover. She was with her friends in the attic, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning and they were all awake. There's normal sleepovers, you know, everyone talking, eating, you know, junk food. And this girl, she decided to go to the kitchen. Who knows why? But she went to the kitchen anyways. She went down 3 flights of stairs on her own. She was gone for about 15 minutes. At first no one really noticed. They just thought she might have gone to the toilet. But then 15 minutes passed again. So someone went downstairs to check up on her. She was on the stairs saying something in a different language. No one understood what she was saying. And it was already 4 o'clock in the morning. So her friend called the others to come down to help. By that time, the possessed girl on the stairs walked into the dining room. Now in the dining room there was a big glass door that would lead into the garden. It didn't have any curtains. And she started running around and running around and around the dining table. And then after various times of circling the dining table, when she was facing the glass doors, she ran towards the glass doors at high speed. Just bumped into it. Fainted. Nothing else. No one knew what was going on. Her parents woke up at that time with a thump. So they went downstairs, checked on her, tried to get her conscious, and they called the ambulance. Now they didn't want to come because they thought it was something minor. But they came anyways. When they came, she was conscious. So they just gave her a mask to breathe on. No one knows what happened. No one understands what happened. 2 days later, she was at school. She was paying attention to the teacher in the class. And she looks out the window. Now, in the view of the window, you see a tree from the park. There's only one tree in the park of the school. So she's looking out the window and she sees this tree. And she sees a black shadow behind the tree. She doesn't really understand what's happening, but she sees a black shadow and she can't take her eyes off it. So she continues staring, and after a while she starts screaming. This time she wasn't herself anymore. Something else was in her. So she starts screaming and making a big scandal in the class. Everyone's worried. Everyone doesn't know what's happening. Everyone calls the teachers around because there's a hall, all the classes, and called the other teachers. And the students were panicked because they didn't understand what was happening with their colleague, with their friend. And she starts screaming and saying things in another language. Now, her friend who found her on the stairs was in the class next door. So she heard the screams and came running to rescue. She tried to pick this girl up off the chair, and the girl did not want to move and wanted to continue looking out the window. Did not want to take her eyes off this nothing nothingness, this shadow of nothingness. After a lot of help from other people, they were able to get her off the chair, take her out of the classroom, and bring her into the corridors. Now they were on their way to take her to the head of year, but the head of year had heard of it already, and she was coming up the stairs. The head of year, trying to be a cool teacher, bends down while this girl is screaming on the floor, saying words that no one understands. Bends down and talks, and tries to ask, "Are you okay? What's happening?" Trying to get through to the girl who was not there. Do you know what this girl did?
What?
She coughed up blood in a teacher's face and slapped her. No one understands what happened and why it happened and how it happened. And after that, they took her to a room and left her there. Did not let her go to her classes that day. Called her parents. Her parents came to pick her up. Took her to the hospital. When she was at the hospital, she became conscious again. She didn't remember anything. And her parents weren't there, so they couldn't testify that it had actually happened. The only thing that was left was the traces of blood that was a bit on her top. And her parents weren't there to testify what had happened. But they did the normal procedures to see if everything was alright. Do you want to know who it is?
Who is it?
It was me.